I guess it's just getting that vibe going, isn't it? Like when we talk about you talk about this, I'm interested in the sexual energy because I read a book by Napoleon Hill by they called it wasn't the Think and Grow
Sexual
Rich.
transmutation. Yeah.
Oh, you've read that one.
Yeah, I
Sweet.
have it somewhere.
Sweet. So because you understand that you can get that sexual energy that you've got when you with romantically with someone, you can actually transmute that to somewhere else. Do you work with that? Is that sort of like one of the
Yeah, so
principles?
in a program that I run called the Central Liberation Program, which actually goes through 6 different pathways to arrive at the point where you can actually use that energy. Because first of all, you got to understand what that is. You got to actually remove a lot of the blocks to accessing it, and then
Yep.
there's ways to learn how to harness it, and then how to create relationships that support that rather. But you can also do it yourself and solo practice too, because that energy of aliveness is essentially the energy that creates, babies, right? It's the
Yeah, of
energy that
course. Yeah.
creates life. It's like
Yep.
when you're birthing a new project into the world, maybe when you first started your podcast journey, or when you're starting your big leap, like that's the type of energy. There's this energy that is a drive that is wanting to birth something and create something. And so that's sort of that energy. And then also when you're doing sexual transmutation, it's not, you don't need to be having this like explosion of a Big Bang energy. It can be really subtle and really gentle as well. And so what you're really doing, so we call that sex magic in the practices that we do, or sexual transmutation, which is breathing into actually accessing what pleasure is in an authentic way. So it's not the primal kind where you see 2 cats like screaming in the middle of the night, or like it's not it, while
Yeah.
there is that wildness and that genetic like wildness within us, this can also be a space where you're actually really connected to your goals and your visions. And then you can really, through breath work, direct the the frequency or the focus to bringing that into your to-do list, bringing that into your drive, and bringing that into the way that you show up. So when really, really unfortunate things hit the fan and any struggle hits the fan, you're able to remember your ability to be empowered and create and
Yep.
step through that.
I think it comes down to a lot of people. I think, as you said, trusted space, authentic, what you've got. And I think a lot of belief in a lot of things. Do you get a lot of people coming to you understanding your modality, or do you have
No,
to?
no. My modality is really like weird, rare, like it's not difficult to understand once you're in the field with me because I see it as a theme park. I take you through it, right? So you get to see it, like you
So you're
get to
Disneyland.
experience.
So you're
Huh?
Disneyland. You're Disneyland.
Disneyland, or like, I just take you through this the quantum field, and I take you through, like Joe Dispenza stuff, right? Like there's like a little bit of
Yes.
like
Yes. Yep.
trancy experience.
Yep.
And so I really take you through to a place where you feel super invincible or very expanded, that like worldly issues don't bother you as much, so that you can see a
Right.
perspective without that limitation. And so I think when people are willing to do that work with me, they can feel themselves and they can feel their authentic like voice speaking through them. Then they're not afraid. It's not that they don't trust me, it's whether or not they trust themselves at that point.
Yeah, it's a funny thing though. With coaches, I think like I did some a shadow warrior course with Greg Riley down here, and very similar. It's very, I don't think everyone's on the same level. It's just you got to find the person that will facilitate your healing. Would you agree with that? So a lot of your clients,
I think that you need to find someone whose energy field you resonate with,
yeah, that's right.
or someone who you feel that can really help you get to the next level. Because there's a lot of coaches out there, and everyone's really got their own life experiences. And so certain coaches, they can take you as far as they've gone, and then you can also then find another one who brings you further. There's rare and very precious coaches who continuously can break you through each ceiling. And so the kind of transformations that I'm looking at in the beginning, when I joined like Landmark, well, not Land, I didn't do Landmark, but I did something very similar that was available in Asia. Or when I first started this whole journey of doing a lot of these transformational retreats, like it was very intense changes. Like it was like a whole weekend. You're like, you're like changing your identity and like breaking through everything. So I think like in the beginning of a transformational journey, you often or it's like something that you completely kind of lose yourself to find yourself again. In the beginning, your learning curve is huge. And then when you start getting more intermediate or like more, you've done this work for a couple of years, the changes start to get more subtle, but you start to get more nuanced information.
Okay.
Right. So like right now, like if there even a thought that passes through my mind that is unhelpful, we were talking about mindset earlier, like I
Yeah.
catch it and I'm like, what the heck is that thought doing in my head? So it's less about like performing or it's less about these breakthrough healings, even though they still exist, but it's more
Okay.
about really curating my day-to-day experience to make sure I'm always in the right path. And so when I'm talking about liberation, I'm talking about also liberating ourselves from all of our thoughts. So when you're choosing who you want to work with, it's really about, do you want to work with someone that helps you in a particular topic, like inside out, right? Like how deep do you want to go as well?
Yeah,
You can
pretty
just
much,
do
isn't it?
like, you
Yeah,
can just be like, oh,
exactly.
I want to get this to-do list done, but I don't care how I get there. I could like
Yeah.
suffer my way through it and like, choke my way in the process of like getting there and like,
Yep.
dom myself to get there. Or I can do it in a way that's with pleasure, which is sort of like, or with joy or with creativity or with energy that is authentic. So that's sort of like like the way that I do it. But maybe someone else is like, you know what, we want to do it like a warrior, and a warrior doesn't back down from like, um, arrows and like, I don't know, fireballs flying into
Okay.
your field. And
Yeah.
so it's different. Like everyone wants a different flavor of your journey, and you can pick that. And who you want to work with, like who you find the most, I think, who do you find the most fun to work with that lights you up, that makes you feel alive? That's the most, I think that's
That's
fun. And then for
very
me, it's like
interesting.
who makes me feel the most calm and safe to like work with, that no matter what I bring up, I know that it will always bring me to the next level, even for things that I feel ashamed about, right? So there's a, how safe do you feel in the presence of someone who is your confidant?